Now, meanwhile, we are also following another breaking news story out of Ontario relating to Canada-U.S. relations. The opening for the multi-billion-dollar Gordie Howe International Bridge has been delayed. The bridge linking Windsor, Ontario to Detroit has been the subject of tensions between President Donald Trump, who has tried to hold up the project, and the various governments here in Canada and in Michigan, eager to see the bridge open. Now, the CBC's Emma Loop is in Windsor tracking the developments as they're happening this morning. She joins us now live. So, Emma, all the invitations were sent out for this ribbon cutting that was set to happen tomorrow. Now what?
Yeah, it's been a whirlwind few days here in Windsor and across the border in Detroit. So just to kind of take you back through what's happened, earlier this week on Monday, Detroit media started reporting that there was going to be a ribbon cutting ceremony tomorrow on Friday and that the bridge was potentially going to open to traffic on Monday. Now, we then heard from the Prime Minister on Tuesday, who said, yes, the bridge is opening at the end of the week. And that seemed to be pretty official confirmation that we were heading in that direction. Now, after that, we heard from a White House official who gave a statement to CBC News saying that the president's position on this bridge and on this situation has not changed. Now, take you back to February. That is when President Donald Trump took to social media and threatened to block the opening of the bridge unless Canada, which paid for the bridge in full, over $6 billion, unless Canada provided certain concessions. Now, the statement from the White House seemed to confirm that that is still how he feels and sort of threw, this all into the air and put it into question. And so now we've heard from the Prime Minister more recently. Yesterday, he kind of had softer language saying that, if it's delayed a little bit, it'll still open and there's no big drama, he insisted. And so we were kind of waiting to hear what was going to happen. And this morning, we got confirmation that both the ribbon cutting on Friday, tomorrow, has been canceled. Invitees have been told that, this is going to be postponed and that the opening has also been delayed.
And now, Emma, what kind of reaction are you seeing to all of this?
Yeah, of course, this is still pretty early on. We're still hearing from folks who are, involved, stakeholders and just members of the public. But Windsor Mayor Drew Dilkens took to Twitter or X pretty quickly saying, you know what, Prime Minister Mark Carney, don't bend the knee if you don't have to. Get us a good trade deal. He said that previously, basically, that, we don't want to give up any sort of, concessions within a trade deal to get this bridge open. It's worth waiting to get sort of a good agreement that both sides can agree on and that benefit both countries. We've also just heard from, members of the community. Actually, one of my colleagues, her young son who loves, bridges and infrastructure and stuff like that, like a lot of little boys and girls do. He's very disappointed as well because, kids and adults alike are looking forward to seeing this massive piece of infrastructure open up to the public.
Emma, thank you for this. We appreciate it. That is the CBC's Emma Loop in Windsor, Ontario.